So the Jets were looking to shake things up. Tell us about the transaction to Winnipeg.
It was an interesting day, to say the least. It was after Christmas, and we were playing an afternoon game against the Bruins at MSG, and I had a bit of an injury, I had a quad injury, so I was kind of playing through it hurt. So I was kind of a game time decision. Yeah, you understand, we used to skate at our practice rink in Rye, New York, and then get in the car and drive down to the games. So by the time you get there on a normal night game, they would tell you, well, in the morning, they would tell you that, we're not sure if you're going to play or not, because they didn't want you to have to come down early and sit in the hotel and not play. But because this was an afternoon game, we had all gone down. And when I got there, Colin Campbell, who's assistant coach, says, we know you're hurt. You're not going to play today. But at the same time, Ty Domi was sitting out as well. And there's no way you're going to sit your two tough guys out against the Boston Bruins, especially on Sunday afternoon during the holidays in MSG. So we're sitting in the press box, and I'm starting to think this doesn't make a lot of sense. And the team had kind of slipped a little bit. We had a good start, but we were kind of spinning our wheels there around the holidays. So I went over to Barry Watkins, who was our public relations guy, and I said, Barry, what the heck's going on here? I understand why I'm not playing, but I can't believe we're not playing Ty either. He kind of pretty much didn't say anything and turned away, and I thought, this doesn't feel very good. So the next day, we lost that game. The next day, we were at Rye, and generally our mornings we started out watching video, and Roger would get the video out and he'd kind of do his teaching and stuff. Well, that morning, we're sitting there, and Colin does the video. First time in 3 years that Roger didn't do it. So again, you'd think it's strange, but you're kind of wondering what the reason might be. The meeting's over, and then Roger says, Kater, I need to see you for a second. And he had his office just off where we were meeting at the practice rink. And he pulled me down, he sat me down, he said, listen, this is one of the hardest things I've had to do in my coaching career, but Neil has traded you. And I'm like, really? And I could tell that he was kind of distraught. And he said, well, I've got good news and bad news. And I said, oh, boy. I said, give me the bad news. No, he actually said, I've got bad news and really bad news. Okay. I said, okay, well, give me the bad news. He goes, you got traded to Winnipeg. And I'm like, oh, boy. And I said, what could be worse than that? He goes, Ty's going with you. So Ty and I got traded to the Jets for Eddie Olchuk right after Christmas. Yeah. And anyways, we went there that night, and the guys were going golfing in Rye, New York after practice that day. We got on a plane, got to Minnesota, had a 3-hour layover, got into Winnipeg about 1:30 in the morning. John Paddock picked us up at the airport. He had on a parka where I can't remember the guy. Oh, you couldn't see his face. No, it was so cold out.
Kenny,
yeah. Handed us the keys to a K car and said, here's the hotel right down the street. We'll see you at practice tomorrow. Got up in the morning. My car wouldn't start. It was freezing cold there. So got in a cab, got to the rink, and met the trainers. And that was the start of probably the 4 best years of my career.